This just appeared on my Facebook professional mode, and I am so excited because until now, I could only boost on my Facebook business page. So if you're in professional mode and want to learn how to boost posts the right way to get more likes, comments, shares, and clicks, let me show you. Now, when you boost a Facebook post, you're doing paid advertising. Essentially, you're giving Facebook money to take your normal post that's on your timeline and turn it into an ad that's delivered to a lot of people who are more likely to take the action you want them to take, whether it's liking, commenting, sharing, or clicking on a link. Now, we do have to start out with some tough love here. You can master everything I'm going to show you in this video, which is everything that happens after you press that boost post button, from creating your audience to placements and everything. And it's all hugely important. But one huge reason why boosted posts sometimes fail and ads fail on Facebook has nothing to do with the audience setting or the placements or anything like that. But the content itself that was made to be boosted doesn't pop in the newsfeed. It doesn't wow people. So you're not going to get the response you want no matter how hard you try. And if you're a regular to this channel, you've heard this before, our content is competing against all the other posts and all the other ads in our audience's newsfeed. So when we're about to boost a post and put money behind it, we have to really be honest with ourselves and ask, is this something that someone would stop scrolling for and read or watch or whatever you want them to do? So to help all of us learn how to make better posts, at the end of this video, I'm going to share a link to my video where I roast some bad Facebook posts that aren't that wow, and I show how to fix them to get more likes, comments, shares, and clicks. So stick to the end. Okay, so now let's boost a post. Now, as of this recording, you'll only see the boost post button in Facebook professional mode on desktop, but not mobile, and only on selected posts like a single image or long form video. But Facebook is always changing things, and I will not be surprised if the boost post button appears in other formats later. So in my Facebook professional mode, let's say this is the post I want to boost. Click on the boost post button, and the first thing we'll see up here is goal setting. And I know how some of us feel about setting goals. It's like, bleh. But in life, it's important, and for boosting your Facebook post, it's important. When you tell Facebook what your goal is, then Facebook knows what types of people to deliver your post to, and specifically the types of people who do the behavior you want. Now, right now this is set to automatic, but when you click on change, you'll see other options. The goal options Facebook gives us depends on the type of post we're boosting. So here I'm just boosting a post that directs people to a link. So Facebook is asking me if I want the post delivered to more people who are likely to engage or visit a website, i.e. click on a link or get more calls. Or let's say we were boosting a video, like if we were boosting the video of my son quickly solving a bunch of Rubik's Cubes, and yes, I am a very proud mama, then we get these goal options instead. But back to the post I'm going to boost, which is more about my business. I want to choose to get more website visitors. I want the post to be delivered to people who love clicking on links. Now, Facebook here asks if we want Advantage plus Creative, which I know sounds really impressive. Who doesn't like the words Advantage and Plus and Creative? Now, this allows Facebook to make some automatic enhancements to your ad, like playing with the filters or aspect ratio, blah, 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 blah. But the reviews out there on Advantage plus Creative are mixed, and we don't have any control over these enhancements. So if you're a type A control freak like I am, turn this off. And by the way, when I say type A control freak, I mean that as a total compliment. Okay, so now you'll see button right here, and this button will appear just under the post. And the button options we get from Facebook depend on what we set as the goal up here. So for the website visitors goal, here are my options, and I'm going to choose learn more. And then when people click on learn more, they're going to go to a certain link, and right now it's defaulted to my business website, and I'm going to change that to the link featured in the post, which is a YouTube link. And yes, this may seem convoluted. Why am I linking to a YouTube video when I can just upload a video onto Facebook? But I'm trying to direct more people to my YouTube channel, so my goal is to get people to click on the link. Now down here it says special ad category, and it basically tells you that in professional mode, you can't have any ads related to credit, employment, housing, social issues, elections, or politics. And FYI, if you ever want to run an ad on any of these things, you can do the special ad category when you boost a post on your business page. There's a feature there where you can actually toggle it on. But I assure you, don't even try running this type of ad on professional mode. Facebook will figure out what you're trying to do and it'll shut it down. And if you have enough ads that are rejected, it can really compromise your account. Now, next is your audience. And I have to tell you, this is my favorite part. I love building audiences. And I don't know if it stems from my childhood when I didn't have friends and I would just spend recess just like kicking a rock around the playground until recess was over. And now I get to build audiences and pick and choose who gets to pay attention to me. But the key is This is a lot of fun. Now, if you've ever boosted or advertised on a Facebook business page, you may already have some saved audiences, and those will carry over onto boosting a post in professional mode. But if you don't have any saved audiences, no worries. We're going to create one right now. And it's really cool when you can save audiences and use them for future ads. It'll save you a huge amount of time in the setup of the ad. Okay, first of all, under audience name, you'll want to name this something very specific that you'll remember what this audience is. Now, the post that I'm boosting is geared towards small business owners who want to get more involved with video for their social media. So I'll call this small biz video content creators. Now for gender, I'd keep this pretty broad, unless your product is specifically geared for men or specifically geared for women, because it's a lot more helpful to test this out a while and let the numbers show you who's biting more on these ads. Now for age range, we have a little sliding scale here, which is a lot of fun. If you're just getting started, again, I would keep this pretty broad because again, you'll be able to evaluate which types of people are responding to your ads. Now I know my target audience very well because I've been testing it so much. So I'm gonna make my slider 35 to 60. Now for locations, I actually recommend narrowing it down from the beginning because chances are you have a really good sense for how far people will come for your product or service. But be careful. Let's say you're a restaurant and 90% of your customers come from a 10-mile radius. So in that case, it makes sense to set the radius in your ad for 10 miles. And you might say, yeah, but there are people who come from as far as 25 miles because our crab biscuits to die for. And I get that, and congratulations on your crab bisque, but how often does that happen? Are you willing to put your ad dollars on the people who are way less likely to come that distance? You want to put your ad dollars where you have the greatest chances for success. Now in locations, if you want to do a specific radius, you have to put in a specific street address or a city, and then you'll get the sliding scale. But you can also type in a county and get an automatic 25-mile radius, but no sliding scale. And if you type in a state or a province or country, you'll get the state, province, or country, but there's nothing to slide. And maybe you don't want to slide anything, and that's okay. Now let's go to detailed targeting. And this is where a lot of people miss the mark. You want to put in as many interests and demographics and behaviors as you possibly can to attract the right audience. And these interests and demographics and behaviors are based on what people put on their Facebook profiles and the pages they like and the internet searches they do and even purely verbal conversations they have. I can't tell you the number of times that my husband Steven is talking to me about two of his favorite interests, which are Dungeons and Dragons and disc golf. And he's the one initiating the conversations. I'm just being a loving wife and being part of the conversation. But then the internet hears this conversation. Thanks, Siri. And I kid you not, the next day in my Facebook newsfeed, I see some ad related to Dungeons and Dragons or disc golf. And it is all very big brothery and very creepy. But as an advertiser, it's pretty cool because you can tune in really well. So really think outside the box in terms of what all or most of your customers' lives would have in common. So for example, here I'm targeting small business owners. I type in small business and I see small business owner here, and of course I'll click on that. But let's go beyond that. I'll type small business again and I'll choose small business administration. And now even though my boosted post has nothing to do with the small business administration, people who are small business owners are most likely interested in the small business administration. Same thing here with small business software. I'm not selling small business software, but my audience is most likely very interested in small business software, and you can get super creative with this. And unfortunately, we have to type in these keywords over and over again. It is a bit of a pain, and that's another reason why you want to save your audience. And by the way, also click on Browse right here. You can even sort out by income. You can also see education levels. So definitely click that button and check it out. Now down here is the audience definition bar, and right now my audience is just right. It's in the green zone. If it were too specific, like if it were in the red, Facebook would not send the ad. If it were too broad, it would be yellow and Facebook would say, okay, we'll send it, but your audience is a little bit too broad. You might want to narrow it down a little bit to make your results a little bit better. Okay, so let's click Save Audience and keep on scrolling. Now here you can choose how long you want to run the ad and the end date. It's defaulting to 7 days, and that's a good time frame. The one thing I will tell you, don't run an ad for just 2 days on Facebook because it takes Facebook a couple days just to kind of get its bearings with the delivery of this ad and optimizing that delivery. So give it time to sort itself out. And here you even have a sliding scale of how much you want to spend. And what's really cool is they'll even show you how many people they'll estimate you'll reach each day depending on how much you spend. So clearly the more money you give Facebook, the more people they'll deliver this to. And you might be asking, okay, well, how much should I spend? And I will tell you that is a conversation on its own. It depends on a lot of different factors. But if you're boosting in professional mode and you're just getting started, start out with $25. There is a good chance you may need to spend more to get the results you want, but test the waters there. Now here you'll see placements, and that's where your ad is going. In general, when you're boosting a post, I recommend accepting whatever placements Facebook makes available, because remember, you're already defining your audience. Now Facebook is just finding extra places where those people might be. And here Facebook is saying that my boosted post can go to Facebook and Instagram. Now I will tell you that when I'm boosting a post on my business page and not in professional mode, I get the options of Facebook, Instagram, and also Messenger. Now below here, you'll see Metapixel, and Metapixel is essentially code that Meta, i.e. Facebook and Instagram, give for free to your website so your website and Meta can speak to each other. So let's say you have a bunch of website visitors and you want to have an ad that retargets those people. The pixel will help you do that because again, Meta and your website are speaking to each other. Now the next step is we want to see how our ad is going to look on the different formats on Facebook and Instagram, whether it's desktop or mobile newsfeed, etc., etc. So click here on see all previews, and I will tell you that as of this filming, this part of the process is less than ideal. It's not acting the way it should. When I've boosted a post many times in the past, I can see what that post looks like in different areas. But as I'm filming this, I just see one version. The good news is that at least you can see one version, and you can also see where that button is that you set up. But anyway, this is where you're going to see the previews once Facebook gets that fixed. And before you press that Boost Post Now button right here, if you don't already have a credit card set up, Facebook will make sure to ask you for that information because obviously they want your money. Now, since you're using Facebook Professional Mode to make money, obviously you want the posts you create to work for you. So check out this video in the top right corner where I roast some really bad Facebook posts and show you how to fix them so you can get more likes, comments, shares, clicks, and ultimately more customers. Thank you so much, and see you in the next video.